If you enjoy videos like this, subscribe to the channel before the video starts. You started something you can't ignore, the alien woman's request. It was a quiet night at the edge of the small town. The stars shone bright, but one signal blinked oddly on Dr. Arman's computer. He had been working alone in his lab, trying to decode strange patterns in space signals. At first, he thought it was a glitch. But the signal was different. It pulsed like a heartbeat, steady and alive. Arman leaned closer, his eyes wide. The signal was forming shapes, almost like a message. He frowned. "What is this?" he whispered. His hands trembled slightly as he touched the keyboard. Suddenly, the lights flickered. A cold breeze passed through the lab, though all doors were closed. Then, she appeared. The alien woman stood in the corner, her skin shimmering like silver in the dim light. Her eyes were deep, full of unknown worlds, and her voice was soft but firm. "You started something you can't ignore," she said. Arman froze. Every instinct told him to run, but he couldn't move. She was not threatening, yet he felt her presence fill the room like a storm about to break. Arman blinked. I don't understand. Who are you?" His voice was shaky. "I am not here to harm you," she replied, taking a step closer. "But you must listen. What you have begun, it has consequences far beyond your world." Arman's mind raced. Consequences? Beyond Earth? He wanted to ask more, but before he could, she moved her hand, and a small glowing device appeared on the table. It hovered for a moment, then settled gently. Arman reached for it, but hesitated. What is this?" he asked. "It is a key," she said simply. "A key to what is coming. You may not understand now, but you will. You cannot ignore it." Before Arman could speak again, she was gone. Just like that? The cold breeze disappeared. The lab returned to normal. Only the device glowed softly on the table, pulsing like the signal he had seen. Arman stared at it, heart pounding. His mind spun with questions. Who was she? Why him? And what had he started? He felt a strange pull, a force that told him to act, even though he had no idea what he was getting into. For hours, he tried to decode the device, but it was like nothing he had ever seen. Symbols moved, light shifted, and every time he thought he understood, it changed. And then he remembered her words, "You started something you can't ignore." The night stretched on. Outside, the stars blinked silently, as if watching him. Arman knew, deep down, that his life had changed forever. Whatever this was, it was bigger than him. And in the silence of the lab, the device pulsed steadily, like a heartbeat waiting for him to take the first step. Arman could not sleep. The device sat on his desk, glowing softly, like it was breathing. Every time he looked at it, symbols seemed to move, forming patterns that teased his mind. He knew he should leave it alone, but something inside him refused. Something, curious, almost like a calling. The next morning, he tried to show the device to his assistant, Mira, but when she touched it, her hand trembled. Her eyes widened as if she saw something terrifying. "Arman, this is not just a machine," she whispered. "It's alive, somehow." Arman's pulse quickened. Alive? How could that be? He spent hours trying to study it, but the more he tried to understand, the more the device resisted. Then, suddenly, it projected a small hologram in the air, a map. It showed a place he had never seen, deep in a forest hundreds of miles away. Strange markings pulsed along the path. "What does it want me to do?" Arman muttered. The hologram flickered, then disappeared. And with it, a faint whisper echoed in the lab, "Follow, or regret." Days passed, and Arman felt strange changes in himself. Dreams of alien landscapes visited him every night. He saw cities made of crystal, skies with colors he had no names for, and beings that looked both terrifying and beautiful. Sometimes, in the corner of his eye, he thought he saw her, the alien woman, but whenever he turned, she vanished. Then came the first warning. A shadow moved outside his lab window at midnight. He stepped out, heart pounding, but found nothing. Only the stars blinked silently, as if watching him. The device glowed brighter than ever, pulsing faster, like it wanted him to act. The more he ignored it, the stronger the pull became. Even simple tasks, eating, sleeping, felt wrong. It was as if the device and the message from the alien woman were a part of him now. And then he realized something terrifying. Someone, or something, was watching him. A knock came at the lab door late one night. Armin froze. No one else knew about the device. Slowly, he opened the door. Empty hallway. Only a faint hum filled the air. He looked down and noticed small footprints, glowing faintly, leading into the darkness outside. Armin followed. Each step felt like a step into another world. He didn't know what he would find, but he knew one thing: the alien woman's words were true. He had started something he could not ignore. And whatever waited for him at the end of the path could change everything he knew about life, about humans, about the universe. The night swallowed him, and the device pulsed in his pocket, guiding him forward. Armin's boots sank into soft, glowing moss as he stepped into the forest. The device pulsed in his hand, lighting the path like a tiny star guiding him. Every shadow seemed alive, moving in ways that made his skin crawl. But he kept going. He could feel the alien woman's presence somewhere ahead, watching, waiting. At last, he reached a clearing. In the center floated a silver craft, unlike anything humans had built. Its surface shimmered like liquid metal. And there she was, the alien woman, standing at the entrance, calm, yet her eyes held a weight he could barely understand. "You came," she said, her voice echoing like music. "Few humans would. Most would run." I had to," Armin said. His voice shook, but he stepped closer. "I don't know why you chose me, but I'm here." She nodded. "Your species surprises us. Others would give up. But humans find a way." Suddenly, the device in his hand began to glow brighter than ever. Holographic symbols rose from it, forming a three-dimensional puzzle. The alien woman gestured. "The path can only be unlocked by one who thinks like a human. Logic, creativity, courage, you must combine them all." Armin took a deep breath. His hands shook as he touched the symbols, rotating them, matching patterns, following instincts. Time seemed to stretch, yet he refused to panic. Slowly, the puzzle began to respond, lights aligning, circuits humming, the craft itself vibrating. Outside, a shadow moved, hostile creatures, the true threat the alien woman had hinted at. They had been tracking him, waiting for the device to activate. His heart raced, but he remembered what she had said: humans find a way. Thinking quickly, Armin used the glowing moss beneath his feet. He crushed it and threw it toward the creatures. The light confused them, giving him just enough time to finish the puzzle. With a final twist, the craft opened. Energy burst forth, creating a protective barrier that repelled the shadowy figures. The alien woman smiled. "You see? Humanity is not weak. You think differently, act boldly, you adapt. That is your strength." Armin stepped inside the craft. The device aligned with the console, sending a pulse across the forest. The shadows vanished. Stars above shone brighter, as if acknowledging his triumph. "You were ready," she said softly. "Not just to solve the puzzle, but to prove that humans are capable of more than they believe." Armin looked around at the strange world, feeling small yet proud. He realized that whatever had begun with a simple signal had led him here, to a truth larger than any human mind could imagine. He had started something he could not ignore, and in doing so, humanity had shown its worth. As the craft lifted, the forest below shrinking into tiny specks, Armin felt a calm he had never known. The universe was vast, dangerous, and mysterious.